In space, nobody can hear podcasts. But in the year 2022, for the first time in a millennium, you, viewers, listeners at home, will be the first to hear Marathon Me. In space.
Oh my god, that was 20 seconds long. Okay.
Well, we need a nice long intro, really settle the viewers in,
Perfect.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our next Marathon Me series. This time, we're doing the Alien franchise. I'm so freaking humped.
You're humped?
I'm
You're
humped. I'm so freaking pumped.
Dude, keep it in your pants, bro.
Keep it in your so fucking hard right now.
Look,
we're going back to our roots, back to the horror franchise type thing that we sort of started with our Scream franchise.
I feel like it's been too long since we've done like a horror adjacent property. You know what I mean?
I think so as well. I think we can't leave 3 marathons a gap between horror franchises.
No, exactly.
This is going to be our bread and butter, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because, I think you'd say that horror is your favorite genre, Rhys, or at least one that meant a lot to you when at a younger age. Because I know it was my favorite at a young age, and it's a genre that I greatly have a lot of appreciation for even nowadays.
I think it started maybe as my favorite genre.
Yeah.
But then it was my gateway into cinema, I think.
See, that's the same with me. That's honestly the same with me. Horror was my gateway into cinema as well. Into appreciating, the other genres, the finer things in life, you know what I mean?
I think now I'm probably more like a genre, a drama type person.
Yeah.
But I still love my horror, man. I still have my horror shrine in my bedroom, and
you can't go wrong with it.
And the icons will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Oh, exactly.
So before we introduce the movie, the first film in this Alien franchise, which no one will have any idea what it's going to be.
I wonder what it could be.
Let's update each other on update the listeners on what's been happening in your life, Kane. Last time that you gave a life update, you were happy to say that you just started a job in Abbotsford and at a bar.
Did I mention that?
You did,
yes. Okay, yeah. So I was working at a Pokies up in Abbotsford, Richmond, and I did not care for it because one, I was falsely advertised that it was meant to be a bartending job, when in reality I was mainly helping out with Pokies machine maintenance, giving money to the people that cash in their bet tickets and all that. I don't know what the fucking words are, but
Pokies machine maintenance.
Well, because sometimes the machines they fuck up and all that, or I need to. Sometimes people have them reserved and they leave them on for too long, so you got to reboot them and all that. Not reboot them, but you got to I don't know how. I don't know. I barely paid attention because I wanted to leave the job the second I started it.
You've heard it here first, people. The behind the scenes of the Pokies industry.
Yeah, exactly. I should have stayed a little bit longer so I could learn the tricks of the trade, and that way, I could hack the machines and all that.
Yes.
Do some proper 1983 hackers starring Matthew Broderick and Angelina Jolie type shit.
You could have, if you had enough friends to get together, you could do a whole Ocean's 11 type thing.
Mate, we only need one friend. You know who the friend is, mate. No, we need 2 friends. Our 2 favorite gambling friends.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You want me to say the names and you bleep them out, or
Okay, say the names.
Yeah, Connor and Josh. Our 2 favorite gamblers.
You're like, okay, for the first person, first name. Second person, full name. Dots the hell
there's
out
a lot
of
of Joshes, we know, mate. Okay. I'll stop saying the names so you don't have to do too much censorship. But anyways, yeah. So I quit the job, and also I wasn't getting paid for a little bit because there was something going on with my super, blah 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 blah. Anyways, boring stuff. Anyways, now new life update. I am working as a dishwasher. I'm not going to say the location because I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want to dox the place, and I don't want the the influx of fans coming in, you know, I need to chase the bag.
Get the dishwasher out. We need to see him.
But yeah, it's funny. I actually never thought I'd enjoy being a dishwasher, but I've been working there. This is my 3rd week working, and I am actually really enjoying it.
See, it's happened, man. It's happened. You find love in the strangest places.
It really do be like that.
In the bottom of a cafe sink.
It really do be like that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's and right now, Kane and I we just finished watching the first Alien film, Alien from 1979.
My favorite Smashing Pumpkins song. Fuck yes.
And we're right now having a beer each, and I got a peanut butter and jam milk stout. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
You were very keen on trying it as well. Like, you seemed very excited about grabbing them and all that.
I was very excited. I love trying anything new and weird and different. And I had one smell of this, and I'm like, yep, that ain't it.
Yeah,
that ain't it. It tastes. You know what it tastes like to me?
What?
Okay, so you get a bowl of Reese's Puffs, and then you just pour beer in instead of milk, let it sift, and then after like having it sit for like 30 minutes to an hour, you just drain it, get out all the liquid into a can, and then that's what you have.
See, it's funny because I actually don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
I know. Yeah, Kane is liking this.
I don't know. It's fine. I don't see the big deal. It literally just tastes like shitty peanut butter.
Well, if anyone is interested in trying it, it's from the brewery company Fury and Son, which is a Melburnian brewing company. And to repeat again, it's peanut butter and jam milk stout. I think the milk aspect is what really baffles my brain.
Yeah, I don't taste no milk in there. Also, this is not sponsored, but what was the company called? Fury and Son?
Fury and Son. It's a recommendation.
Fury and Son, if you guys, we are recommending your beer, so if you guys want to sponsor us or anything, we'd be more than happy to rep your brand, you know?
If we got sponsored by a beer brand, that would be amazing.
That would be pretty freaking epic.
It's start of big things.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get into a bit of the trailer of this legendary horror epic, Alien.
Woohoo!
Still with us, Brett?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel dead.
Anybody ever tell you look dead?
Intercepted the transmission of unknown origin.
What kind of a transmission?
SOS.
Human.
Ash, can you see this?
I've never seen anything like it.
Moving on to second position.
We've got this far, we must go on. We have to go on.
It doesn't look like an SOS. It looks like a warning.
It seems to have life. Wait a minute, there's movement.
What the hell is that?
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism.
Amazing. Okay, when we put the Blu-ray in away, we were faced with a big choice, Kane.
Oh yeah, one of the hardest choices I've ever had to make.
We had to decide again between the theatrical cut or the director's cut.
The 2003 director's cut. Yep, a very tough decision. I know, guys. I know.
I felt like that whatever choice we were making would have greatly impacted on our integrity as film discussers.
Film discussers, yes. That is what we are, film discussers.
Yeah, so it was a big choice to make, but what did we actually decide on?
We chose on we did the 2003 director's cut, yes.
We did the director's cut.
We did, which opens with a nice little video introduction by the director himself, Ridley Scott.
I know.
Felt very
Lovely.
nice, very intimate. And how many seconds of new footage was there, Rhys?
Well, I think that it was actually a few seconds shorter than the theatrical cut.
Okay.
So he cut out a bit, and then he added, I think, 4 minutes of new footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
actually, no, I'll save it for later, but I think there is a big scene and all that I think was all new footage that, like, I don't remember from, like, when I originally watched it. Since, also, this is, like, I think this is both of our second viewing of Alien.
That is correct, yes.
Yes, and it has been a long time. I think I watched it back in, like, 2013, I think. So it's been quite a hot minute, almost 10 years.
Damn, I think that I probably saw it in when I was, like, 12 to 2013.
Yeah, okay, yeah, alright. So we're both the same age and all that.
Yeah, I think that makes about sense. And did you enjoy it so much more than the first watching?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely, man.
Man, I feel like I didn't remember much from my first viewing of this movie, and I'm honestly glad, because this time I was in shock of how amazing this movie was.
It stupidly holds up. Like, going in, we know about, like, some of the classic scenes. We know about, like, the xenomorph design. We know about the chest bursters, the face huggers, the John Hurts, all that good stuff. We know about all that good stuff. But there's so much more to appreciate about this film on a directing standpoint and, like, just how it was crafted,
The first 10 minutes, I'm there like, wow.
It's just mesmerizing. It's literally, like, the first, like, 10 minutes, there's like, little to no dialogue. It's just establishing shots of the ship, letting the audience get to know, like, where they're going to be for the next, like, 2 hours. And it's just... Wow, exactly. What you said before, wow.
It's like a phenomenal introduction to how freaking terrifying space is.
Exactly.
Just like, look at this open, massive freaking nothingness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God, that is a lot to take in.
That title card, like, that's just a perfect, like, just mood setter. Just, like, very eerie, foreboding, quiet music playing, like, almost just ambience. Like, just complete, just, like, ambience and all that.
And, like, how...
proper music.
The title of Alien comes, like, one stroke at a time.
It, like, starts
so
off
good.
looking like just, like an alien language almost.
Yeah.
Or, like, just some weird, like, symbols, and then, like, slowly fills into show the word alien.
Oh,
and
so good.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, finally, as that final stroke of the E comes about, you're like, oh, that's what it means.
Ah, yes. Okay, finally,
yes.
we have deciphered it. Thank goodness.
Yeah, the code has been cracked. Oh, man, it was just the scale crazy.
Yeah.
And for a movie from 1979,
oh, it looks gorgeous.
Oh my God, it would be difficult to beat this today.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no, it would, because, like, even though, like, you can tell some of the stuff is, like, obviously, like, matte paintings and, like, miniatures, but it still holds up. It gives that it looks real, like, because I don't know, like, miniatures, obviously, real sets and all that, real...
It is real.
It is real, yes, cool country. No, but, like, real sets, real matte paintings, I don't know, there's, like, a level of authenticity to this film in terms of how it's crafted that you don't get in a lot of, like, say, like, modern science fiction blockbusters or science fiction horror movies and all that. Like, no shade to, like, modern blockbusters, like, MCU type stuff, but, like, you could not... if you made an Alien film nowadays... It would just look like, a lot of those effects would just look like something that akin to the MCU and all that. Like, it would look fine, but nothing would really stand out, you know what I mean?
Nothing in this movie is fine. That's the cool thing about it. It's so much better than fine. It's so much better than it needs to be.
Yeah, I know.
So this is right away in the first 10 to 15 minutes of this film, this is the big thought that came into my mind that I wanted to save until the podcast because it's a bit of a weird comparison, but I just could not fathom this. So, I was watching this movie, and all that I could think of around these moments was, Jason X was made 22 years after this film. And that looks so much worse.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So much worse. And I'm like, 22 years, and then I'm like, okay, it must have been because of the budget. So then I did a little bit of research.
Okay,
so
I was going to ask, like, dude, it was probably the budget.
Yeah, it must have been, right? I was like, okay, because of the 10th installment in a franchise for Jason X.
Yeah.
Like, they probably just didn't put that much money towards it because they're like, it's going to make money no matter what happens here.
Yeah.
So, Jason X... cost $14 million to make.
Okay.
Alien cost $11 million to make.
Oh, wow.
So, it's also $3 million less.
But you also got to keep in mind that, like...
for inflation?
Yeah, inflation and all that.
I don't think that even... I would expect... Jason X to be a fraction of the budget of Alien in when comparing the production values and the ability to like create a scene and atmosphere.
Oh my god.
No way, man. 11 million and you got that from Alien in 1979.
Money well spent, man.
Man, those freaking budgeters did a great job. Like they every dollar they stretched and got as much out of that as they possibly could have.
Created like. Think about this, right? So this movie was in the 70s. Like, the 70s was like a big sci-fi era because, you know, Star Wars was a big thing in the late 70s. Star Wars had, like, all these beautiful sets, all these beautiful, like, pristine white, pristine black, all the ships look clean. They look, habitable, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
What I love about the Nostromo's interior design is that it looks otherworldly. And funny because, science fiction, spacefaring adventure and all that, but like it looks otherworldly in like a bad way. It looks nightmarish, the ship. It looks kind of akin to the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph is a very mechanical, skeletal looking creature, and the ship, honestly, the interior of the ship gives off that same aura. That's why, like, in the film, it's able to camouflage so well and stay hidden, and that's why you don't see it that much, because it's hidden within the bowels of the ship.
It's really strange. Like, this ship looks like almost inside, like, biological.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, this organic element to it.
It's creepy as shit, and it adds so much to the movie in terms of atmosphere and just the panic that, like, you feel, the characters feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, this is going to be probably the most, like, oversaid thing ever and just come out extremely lame, but it feels like that the Nostromo is, like, its own character in this film.
Honestly, I agree with you.
Just like in Sex and the City, how New York is a character in its own.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, Carries.
Yeah.
Whatever their names are.
Spill the tea. I was just in awe of this set.
Oh, gorgeous,
and
honestly.
And like how it feels like that you don't really like it. Also, the scale of this ship, you could just imagine that it's massive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And just like the isolation that you would feel even before a freaking alien comes into it, with there only being 7 crew members, which is like a 7-person cast.
Yeah.
Like only 7 people inhabiting this massive spaceship.
I would hate that. Like,
how eerie.
Honestly, on God, it's creepy as shit.
Going from one room to the next would be so eerie and gross. And already an uncomfortable, like, claustrophobic setting.
Definitely.
Even before there's any danger that comes your way.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can tell that there's kind of, with the characters and all that, you can tell that there's already, like, tensions within the group and all that. You're like, you don't see this as, like, a group of friends and all that. You more so see this crew as, like, just, well, the workmates and all that. They don't necessarily like each other, but they have to be together because, they're working.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that because, like, sure, they're friendly with one another, but there's also a sense of uneasiness because, like, you feel like maybe they could turn on each other or just these tensions that are built up that already make us uncomfortable. The location does a great job of making us uncomfortable, and these characters, that while they are uncomfortable because they're alone in the ship with people that maybe they don't entirely get along with, some more than others, you know what I mean?
That is an excellent point. Like, the dynamic has, like, no warmth.
No, exactly.
Between one another. And that just, like, adds to this isolation that you're in the middle of nowhere with people that you don't really get along with in this massive freaking space.
Which works so fucking well,
my God. Man, I have to mention this. This is something that I did not notice the first time that I watched the film, and I also never knew and have even heard of, like, out of it in pop culture.
Yeah.
Is about 10 minutes through the film is, like, the foreshadowing where you can hear the xenomorphs, like, voice on the intercom or something, like when they're listening to radio frequencies and they don't know what it is just yet, and they can just hear the like sort of noises, is amazing foreshadowing. That imagine, like, I'm trying to put myself in the headspace of, like, going into the theater in 1979, not knowing what I'm getting myself into, and being as confused as them, like, what is that? Or, like, or actually, what it would have been is that you would have, like, just brushed it off. You would have been like, that's whatever.
You wouldn't think anything of it.
But then us knowing exactly what those aliens sound like and hearing that, it's like, oh my god,
they're in for a hell of a time.
Yeah, and it's like they got a warning signal.
Yeah.
But they just don't know what to be listening out for.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Which is terrifying. It's like, it's the whole like, no, don't go in there. No, don't look under the bed because we know what's under there when you don't. It's that sort of dynamic in the relationship between the audience and the characters in this film. And I just loved this scene because I wanted to, like, I didn't want to interrupt it. There were so many times in this movie where I wanted to say things, but I'm like, no, just be quiet, Rhys. Just be quiet. Don't ruin the scene for Kane. Don't ruin it for yourself by talking. And that was the first scene where that happened, where I'm just like, wow, this is impactful. This is freaking great.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. There's a lot of praise to be said about this movie, honestly, on God, and we've only really just started with like the first 10 minutes, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'll give my I'll wait until the end to give my final sort of like quality thoughts that I think on this. But But like but before they even set foot on this other planet, do you think there's anything else that just really perfectly sets up what we're about to get into?
Well, I mean, I've pretty much said all I really need to say is that, like, you know, the location makes you feel uneasy. The character relationships feeling very more so cold and almost automatic because, like, you know, it's like there's not a lot of chemistry, but that's not like a fault of the movie. It's like a fault of the chemistry between the characters because the characters aren't exactly friends. They're workmates. I feel like I've said what would need to say. Am I leaving anything out?
No, that's fine.
Okay, good. Oh wait, let's just get the elephant out of the room. The elephant man out of the room for a second. John Hurt is in this movie. And he what's his name, Rhys? What's his character's name? Huh?
His name's Kane.
His name's Kane.
Okay, so
Kane, not Cane, boys and girls.
So it's going to be quite difficult from now on when we talk about this character because we're not going to know if we're talking about Kane or Kane.
You want to just call him John Hurt?
I think let's keep it a mystery. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun of listening to the episode.
Okay.
They're like people will be listening to this and they'll go, "What happened to Kane as you watch this?" Oh, okay. We understand.
Yeah, all right. Oh, thank goodness.
Thank goodness Kane is okay.
Thank goodness Kane.
And it's like, no, he's not. He is definitely not okay.
Oh man.
So I think let's leave that as it's up to listener interpretation.
Okay, it's their funeral. All right, cool.
So as they land on this alien planet, and they open the doors, first thing is that, wow, this planet is a shithole.
Yeah, it's just nothing but wind, rain, and just geysers of just steam.
I understand now why the xenomorphs are so pissed off.
Honestly.
Why they're so angry all the time. Why they're so aggressive.
They live in a shithole,
They live in the worst place in the world.
Yeah.
In the universe.
Yeah, it's not too inviting of a planet, honestly. Actually, that's actually not the xenomorph homeworld, actually. It's not the homeworld. The homeworld. I'm pretty sure they go to the homeworld in the second movie.
Oh,
well, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong in the next episode, but I'm pretty sure. But anyways, sorry.
Okay. Is this something that like is this something that just developed? Because also at this point in time for the marathon, we've only watched the first one.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch the next ones after this podcast.
Yes, yeah.
Because we're planning on getting a little bit drunk during that, so we don't want to. We want to be completely clear-headed for you people now. Yeah, completely clear-headed with only like half a beer at this point.
Yes.
So is that something that's sort of like established later on?
Yeah, they do definitely establish like a lot more. Well, yeah, because like, you know, this one they didn't really like establish like a proper lore for like the xenomorph and like the world that we're living in this movie.
And I love that. I love that. That's
it's really cool. Like
the mystery behind everything and not really knowing what's going on is what makes it so fucking terrifying.
They have like a lot of like mysterious stuff. Like, you know, they got like the big elephant looking man in the turret.
Yes.
And they don't explain it at all. There is a shot where it zooms into like the thing's eye and you think like, is that the alien? Is that thing gonna kill him? And then it's never brought up again.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of set decoration that is so fucking cool.
It's just so ominous.
Yes.
And when watching that, I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, I know, right?
What is this supposed to be?
This thing was alive. I want to know its story.
I know, right? So that is like freaking terrifying.
Oh, I know, right?
So from this point, that's when they're coming into the eggs, and then they see like this whole, if it's not their home planet, then it's been taken over by these xenomorphs and almost made into like a nest.
Yeah.
And this is just how strong must those babies be to be able to, those face huggers, to get through the freaking helmet?
Oh, yeah. You asked me during the movie, like, how did he just like break through the astronaut mask? And I'm like, yes, sir, he did. And like,
he sure did.
Those things are those things are strong as fuck. We will learn in later movies, but they are pretty formidable foes, even like before they become full-grown Xenos.
The design of these freaking face huggers,
hate them. I hate it in the best way possible because they look like spiders. I don't like spiders. I am arachnophobic. I cannot stand that. And the thought of these are spiders that full on rape your face.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean
that's a good way of putting it.
That is literally what they're doing, though. Like they are impregnating you without your consent.
Oh my god.
Like there's a lot of like disgusting like phallic and like sexual imagery in this movie, like sexual abuse imagery in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. There's like even at that like the other female character that's on the crew,
Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert. When like the tail is like going up her leg.
Yeah.
And, like,
yes.
Yeah. That was like almost like an implied rape scene.
Yeah.
I was.
It's like
thinking
it's fucking gross. Honestly, it works in the movie sense, but like it's fucking unpleasant to watch.
Imagine how much less popular this film would have been if they named it Space Rapists instead of Alien.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would have caught on that much.
Would have done great in the midnight movie scene.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, for those midnight movie screenings, we're going crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm glad Ridley Scott stuck with it turns out like Alien was just the placeholder name. He was going to call it something like a lot more creative.
He was gonna call it Space Rapist.
Yeah, and then he was just like, and then he released the film, and they're just like, he's like, oh shit, I forgot to change the name.
Damn! Just imagine those strokes at the start of the film. It slowly reveals that. Wait a minute, that's not right.
That's terrible.
Wait a minute.
God, I mean, it's like true to life for the xenomorphs and all that. That's what they kind of are. But like,
and the design of the face huggers, as like you see their bottom half and like the more sort of biological, like really meaty side of them.
Oh,
and man, that freaking prop design of those things as it's being like dissected. It's so convincingly biological.
I know, right?
And just so gross and wet and slimy and
actually, let's actually now you bring up the biological design of the facehugger. Let's just take a moment just to we've appreciated the set design. Can we just appreciate the creature design? Not like for the facehuggers, the chest bursters, the Xenos in general. Like, well, they're all iconic. Like, come on, like obviously they're iconic, but just. Wow. Like, yeah, no, like, you bringing up the whole, like, biological, disgusting, meaty parts of the facehugger is something that we don't really see a lot of. I don't think we see that much of in the later films in the Alien canon. So, like, showing us this up close and personal looks gorgeous. Realistic as well. That's one thing I love about the creature designs in this movie. It looks real. Like, even though the Xeno is very, like... otherworldly, nothing like it exists. It looks like it could exist in our world because, like, the Xeno was played by an actual actor and all that. I'm pretty sure, like, most of the scenes at least. So it feels real, The
portrayal of like meatiness of like characters or like of creatures and everything, I think is such an essential and powerful part of body horror because it's this like the whole sort of essence of body horror, I believe, is when you're like pretty much putting a human being and like degenerating them down to the level of meat.
Yeah.
And it's this strange, gross feeling of like accepting human beings as hunks of meat that is terrifying and just like appeals to this this part of your mind that is so disgusted by the aspect of, no, I'm more than that. I must be more than that. It appeals to like one's ego that they are more than hunks of flesh.
Yeah, they're more than just meat bags.
But then when body horror really like takes that and almost exploits that part of your ego.
Yeah.
So effective.
Oh, definitely.
And with that freaking meatiness, like it's a good time that they show this when the facehugger is like incapacitated.
Yeah.
Because that's after it's been on on Kane's face.
Yeah.
For like hours and hours at this point.
And then just like basically just drops off and all. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm finished. It's just like there with a cigarette, just like, oh god,
Yeah.
oh, It's a good few hours.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
John Hurt was a good fuck.
Yeah.
I always wanted to fuck John Merrick.
Why didn't you could have said Kane that whole time, and then if people were sort of zoning out when listening to the podcast, they would have been like, "What?"
Nah, bro. I gotta bring up John Hurt roles, mate. John Merrick, other John Hurt roles. Ollivander from Harry Potter boys.
Oh, okay. You can't forget from 1984.
I literally wrote that in my notes. Why didn't I bring this up?
Oh, okay.
I wrote down in my notes, John Hurt, lol, I love 1984. What is wrong with me?
John Hurt, lol.
Yeah, John Hurt, lol. Yeah, whenever I say John Hurt, I just go like LMAO. Rest in peace, John Hurt.
Rest in peace, John Hurt.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal actor in all the roles that I've seen him in.
Oh, he's great in it. Oh, he's great in almost anything, man.
Yeah, the freaking Midnight Train. What's it?
Midnight Meat Train?
He's in a Midnight Express. He's in
what is Midnight Express?
He's in the film Midnight Express, and he is phenomenal in that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, very very good film with John Hurt in it.
Oh,
he just never skips a beat after and such a consistent long career.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Apparently, he's also one of like the actors that dies the most in his movies. Like he's like he's like a Sean Bean type character. I think he dies more than Sean Bean in films, but everyone's like Sean Bean is the big meme that dies in like all these films.
Oh damn! Okay,
I'm pretty sure at least. Like I just know that he does die a lot in the films.
Oh okay,
yeah.
Congrats, John Hurt. Yeah. Well, it's in his name. Hurts a lot.
Yeah. No, true.
And this is another aspect I think of Kane's facehugger experience.
Yeah.
I think that what is also so disturbing about this is being one of the other crew members and seeing someone that you have been on this expedition with for months, assumedly.
Yeah.
You like, even though that you're not best friends,
it's one of the
identify
people,
this
one
person
of the only people that you see.
Yeah, and you identify this person as a fleshed out human being.
Yeah.
And then seeing their face covered and consumed by this facehugger.
Yeah.
It's so like life denying and the disturbing nature of seeing that and this person that you know and like account as a fleshed out human being being just rejected so much.
Yeah, they've literally just been degenerated into just a vessel. Pretty much. They're just an empty vessel at this point.
That would be the most disturbing bit about this. If I imagine, like, let's just say this happens at work at JV Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
We just happen that there's a face hugger that goes on someone that I know works their face, and they're just comatose, lying down with this face hugger on them, and the lack of knowledge about what is actually happening, but then their humanity being taken away entirely, that's something that's so disturbing about this scene. And that's probably why they're like, man, this has got to come up eventually. Man, they're so just like, all right, with John Hurt.
Yeah, they're very not like, dude.
They're so neutral about it.
Literally, when they bring him in after the facehugger like attacks his face, like Dallas and Lambert, they sound so nonchalant about, like, they're like, oh, yo, we gotta let him in, he could die. But they don't sound urgent, really. It just sounds like more annoyed, if anything, or just like, they're doing a courtesy, or it's like, you let us in, Kane's, dying. Oh, just dropped my phone. Kane's, had an alien life form on his face. Like, can you let us in, Ripley, please? It's like, I don't know. It's like, little more urgency, guys.
Yeah,
for Kane.
It's very just like, oh yeah, whatever's happening, and then just reacting to the situation very. Urgency is not very much there.
Yeah, that's just very that's just very blunt, matter of fact. It's just like, all right, cool. All right, anyways, let's just keep going with the job and all that.
Yeah,
come on.
Especially when he dies.
Oh yeah.
They just no one has a really emotional reaction to him dying.
No,
I think they have like a surprised reaction to, oh my god, what is that that's bursting out of his chest?
Yeah, which very well done. Obviously, like and like
oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about it in a second.
But like, man, they just so like, oh well, he's dead.
Yeah,
like when after the alien just disappears, runs off, they're just like, whoa, what happened?
Does anyone want to say any words? Nah.
Yeah,
They literally don't say anything, and then they just shoot him out into space. Imagine, like...
Gotta find this alien.
Imagine, like, Star Trek 2, when, like, fucking Spock dies, Captain Kirk doesn't even say anything. It's just like, you have any words to say, Kirk?
Nah.
Just shoot him out.
But where's that alien? Yeah.
Where's the alien, man? Come on, let's find him.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's almost like this disconnect between the human beings. It's maybe it's why Ripley is so connected to this cat.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a result of having that lack of human connection with the other individuals that are on this ship, that she has found this bond with this cat, and it's like, oh, you're actually like the only one that's nice to me.
Yeah, you're the only one that like makes me gives me a sense of warmth and empathy and all that. You know what I mean?
You're the only one that gives me positive reassurance.
Yeah, when everyone else is just very like matter of fact and very like just like focused on the job and all that. You know what I mean? Not really we do get like a nice kind of like little brief moment of levity when like Kane when the facehugger comes off Kane's face and they're all like sharing dinner together. We have a nice little moment of levity, and that's a great like lead up to the iconic scene, the iconic chest bursting scene.
How can one be laughing and making jokes to someone at dinner, and then they die several moments later, and then be like, oh yeah.
Well, it's Kane's fault. He ruined dinner, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I know how he just flops on the freaking dinner table.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? He gets blood everywhere. He gets blood on Lambert's face. It's fucked up.
He had people surrounding him. Like, this is it's obviously something that was done for the framing of the scene and everything, but we're trying to analyze this as it would happen in real life.
Yeah,
on a real life spaceship. So how he just flops on this table. People are around him, like holding him and like consoling him. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Tell us. So if he would have like flopped back, people would have caught him and then not put him on the table with all the food.
Yeah, it's a bit rude, honestly.
I know. It's like they weren't even hungry.
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's like I know, like, you know, they do say the food is shit, but it's like it's not that shit. Like, you're still wasting food, Kane.
Still respect the food, Kane.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Also, think about it. The whole like dining room. It's all white. You're gonna get blood and they get blood everywhere. So it might stain. I don't know how cleaning products are in the future, whatever year this movie takes place in. But like, you know, blood, I'm assuming still is hard to get out of certain places. Kane, bastard.
So to go back a little bit about when they first try and cut the facehugger off of Kane's face.
Yes.
And then it bleeds acid, and then it goes through the ship, and then it keeps on going through the floors of the ship.
Nice little like jolt of horror before like the shit really gets crazy.
Yeah. I really like that.
I forgot about that scene.
Man,
honestly.
what a good freaking defense mechanism to bleed acid.
Oh, it's so cool.
And I'm just there thinking, what are they actually going to do to stop this acid going through?
Just get a bucket, bro.
Yeah, look, you can't get a bucket. It's just a burn through the bucket.
Oh, I mean, there are certain buckets that acid can't burn through, and granted, it is alien acid. Though.
It's alien acid.
Yeah,
though. That's the whole point.
True,
is that
though. Yeah, it could have different chemical.
You would assume like a metal bucket would be okay, but it's a metal ship that it's going through.
Yeah. Well, no, because metal can. I mean, sorry, metal can eat through acid. Can eat through metal. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a chemistry student, so I don't know how the fuck this shit
like
works.
a ceramic. I wouldn't
a polyurethane container.
Oh, of course,
bro. Breaking Bad. Let's go.
I was thinking of a way that maybe like this may sound stupid, but even of course it would eat through the towel, but I think like that's the only thing that I can imagine you putting around is like enough towels that it would.
You reckon?
Yeah, because I think just like the amount of layers it would like. I'm not
going to argue against it because, again, I don't know shit about chemistry and all that. So, like, maybe, for all I know, it could work. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Besides, also, man, fuck the periodic table. This is alien acid, bro.
Yeah, this is alien. Like, who knows what freaking chemical composition this alien has?
Exactly. Like, this is super acid.
Yeah, the atomic structure of this is unknown to anyone that exists at this point. Man. Yeah, especially probably even like the xenomorphs. They wouldn't know the atomic freaking composition.
You know what I used to always hear when I was younger? I used to always like hear about like xenomorphs, like they bleed acid, but they also spit. For some reason, people would say that they spit acid. I've heard people on YouTube videos and all that, like film reviews, top 10 lists and all that, they say that they spit acid. And I swear to God, I have heard this and it is retained in my mind because I'd always see it and I'm always like, they don't spit acid. What the hell? These YouTubers are wrong. What the fuck? I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a funny thing, honestly.
Yeah, I can't think of any time when they can.
They do. No, they don't. They don't. It's all bullshit. They do not spit acid.
It says here that that there's a spitter in Alien 3 and the clone xenomorphs team in Alien Resurrection. In the RTS game Alien vs. Predator Extinction, there's a drone evolution that allows them to spit mutagenic acid. So in some of the games,
in the game, is these games canon?
Probably not.
Okay, there is. I know Colonial Marines is technically canon in the Alien series.
Oh my god!
And that's the game that like everyone fucking hates.
So I think it's just in some video games.
Okay, so like unofficial.
We have a whole video game discussion to go on later.
Exactly. Oh, well, that's gonna be much later.
Yeah, there's what I really like that I always noticed in the chest burster scene, I always noticed this, is that like the xenomorphs appear to have metal teeth.
Yeah.
They appear to have these metal grilled up teeth from birth. From birth, even the xenomorph babies seem to have these grills.
Oh my god, yeah. They come they're big old school rap fans and all that.
Yeah, they really, really like Flavor Flav.
Yeah. They, listen to Flavor Flav. I guess no, maybe it's because like Kane was such a big Flavor Flav fan, and so the Xenomorph kind of picked up on that. He's like, oh, okay, I gotta get some grills, man. Let's go.
It entered his subconscious to analyze everything. Flavor Flav wouldn't have been around at that time, though, unfortunately.
No, sadly wouldn't. Dark times.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't want to think about a time where
I know, exactly. Flavor of Love, before a time before that is Time Not Worth Living,
Yeah, I love that show so much.
I have not seen it. I really want to watch it, though.
Oh, it is the perfect trash TV. I don't even know if I've spoken about it on here or not.
I don't think you have, honestly.
Okay, side note. So, if anyone here is listening and they go, oh yeah, I don't mind the trashiness of The Bachelor. Well, there's a show called Flavor of Love, which is The Bachelor with Flavor Flav. And there's 3 seasons of this, which very much implies that he does not find love in the first 2 at least.
No.
This show is the perfect trash TV that I've ever seen in my life. The newest lockdown that we have been through, my brother and I watched all 3 seasons, and it was so life-affirming. It was amazing.
That does sound
nice. And it's this the fascinating freaking pool of media where there's not just spin-offs. Like, there's spin-offs of spin-offs for this show.
Oh, dude, hell yes.
There's like a whole VH1 universe almost. Like an MCU of VH1 characters.
I was literally gonna
spanning from Flavor of Love.
Oh man, I was literally gonna say like before like the MCU and Star Wars were doing pointless spin-offs and all that. The Flavor of Love universe was created before the MCU and the DCEU and blah 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 blah. However, this one was necessary. This one was necessary.
The 2004 VH1 universe really caught on.
Hell yeah.
And it didn't stop.
Oh, thank goodness.
Until it stopped.
Yeah, well, you don't want to oversaturate a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
MCU could learn a couple of things.
So to get the track back. So one thing that I noticed about the set design, and the character makeup in this that I think is a big distinction between modern horror and this special time of late 70s to early 80s horror is sweat.
Yes, dude. I wanted to point that out earlier. Everything looks gross and filthy. Everyone looks gross and filthy in this.
Everyone's covered in sweat, and I even thought at one point I was like, if he wasn't covered in so much sweat, I don't think it would be that effective. It's something about
when you say he. Who are we talking about?
Oh, okay. So this is
Are we talking about
the first person that's killed?
I don't remember his name. The janitorial looking guy.
The janitor.
Let's just call him Willie.
Janitor Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah, Groundskeeper Willie of the ship. Yeah, he just being covered in sweat. I just thought, wow, there must be some amazing reaction that occurs with film capturing sweat, and I mean like actual like 35mm film type thing. Just capturing sweat, it looks so good.
Yeah.
It looked like, I think it has to do with like the enhancing or like the emphasis that it gives on like facial pores. Like the actual pores in their face and the film grain just seem to work in unison so well. I'm really just pulling this all out of my ass.
No, but I get what you mean though.
It looks
works really
so
well.
Pretty, and it just gives you this really raw, grounded feeling. and you can see that they're terrified and uncomfortable, and it's this discomfort that is so prominent in this film.
There is a shot near the during the third act of this film where you remember the scene where Ripley is the top half of her head is sticking out from one of the bottom vents and all that.
Yes, I know exactly.
And her fingers look filthy. It's also the lighting in that scene is incredible. You got a lot of the blue light shining on her face and then orange lighting on her fingers, just really just emphasizing just how dirty and sweaty and afraid she is. It's so well done.
This shot opens on her fingers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't even... it took me a second to realize, those are her fingers.
Yeah, her fingers almost look alien.
Yeah, I thought it was the alien.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, dude. There is so much to just...
so much nuance and detail to this.
Could I just say, I'm assuming we're done talking about the chest bursting scene.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly say that, despite the fact that I've seen this scene, scene so many times in top 10 lists, movie reviews, just in discussion, and yet after all this time, it's still so effective. I thought that after all these years, because of how oversaturated it is and how much it's been parodied, it would just be very okay, I've seen this before. It's iconic, I get it, but it hits so fucking hard,
and it's a scene that works so well in context.
Oh my god,
its power is emphasized so much by the context that it fits in this film.
It hurts to watch because even though these characters aren't the most they're not the most maybe friendliest of characters, or they're not the best of friends, but you get to know these people. You get to know these people over the course of because how long, say 40 minutes into the film, or more than maybe the halfway through.
Yeah,
the film?
This happens about halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through the film. We haven't seen this level of gore and brutality, so seeing this kind of shit really just sets the mood for the rest of the film. And it's okay, we're this is when the film was okay, we're done. Ridley Scott was I'm done playing. All right, it's time to traumatize everyone that came in.
Something that I think
especially
also
the 70s, especially for the late 70s as well. Late 70s sci-fi as well. This was during when the first Star Wars came out, 2 years after the first Star Wars. So seeing a sci-fi film have this kind of gore. It's crazy, honestly.
The only thing probably in that is sort of laughable is as the chest burster just runs off and just looks so out of it. Freaking.
I kind of gritted my teeth when you laughed because I was you fucking awful. Yeah. You didn't ruin the scene, but you did kind of You did kind of make me see how kind of goofy it running away was.
I could not hold that in.
It is goofy, I will admit.
It looked like it was on a track, very, 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 very obviously.
Yeah.
But also that is after the chest burster scene actually happens, where it bursts out of the chest, and that is so convincing. And you would have seen behind the scenes of that, right?
Yeah,
and how they did it, and when you see the behind the scenes photos, you'll be oh yeah, that's fake. Okay, I see how he did that. John Hurt is just under the table, and they have a fake body going over there. But in the way that it's framed lit, you do not notice that.
It's so well done. Also, just the fact that the actors, their reactions were genuine because they weren't expecting this amount of brutality and gore.
Yes,
you know about that classic story. The actors were not aware of what was going to happen to John Hurt's character.
Yes,
so their reactions are very raw and real, and it's just such a perfect scene, man. Almost perfect scene, apart from that ending.
What a risk to play with with your actors as a director or as a producer to make them go in blind, and then they just have to improvise their reactions to the scene. Man, you're putting a lot of faith into those actors, but generally from most of the times that I've heard that happens, it's very effective.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Which really a good props to the improvisational skills of these people.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Another I think very effective sort of scene of body horror in this is. It was the terrifying scene where Ridley finds the people strung up in the nest sort of area.
Oh my god, I want to. I got something to say about that scene in a second. But go on.
That is just so disturbing. And there's and the person that is saying kill
Dallas,
me. When Dallas is there saying kill me, it's showing that they got a worse fate than death.
Yeah, literally. It's horrific, honestly. It is a next level hell.
Yeah, these people are being used as freaking nests and as as vessels for reproduction of the species.
Oh my goodness.
And a fate far worse than just getting freaking stabbed by Jason or like nightmares would be pretty bad,
or even eaten by the alien.
Yeah,
or
even
at least
eaten
just
by
getting
the
like
alien.
hole punched, like you're getting your face hole punched by the alien.
Yeah. I know, right? That always feels weird to me. Just the little mouth comes out to just like punch you in the face.
Yeah, oh my god.
Just like headbutt you really hard.
It reminds me of like those there's like these type of sea mantis that like has a punch so fast that like it can puncture a fish. Like it's got a punch that is as fast as a bullet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I learned that as a kid and I was like, oh, that's insane. And like seeing the alien with the little jaw doing that kind of shit, it reminds me of like the mantis shrimp, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, they must have done some they must have like maybe taken some inspiration from like those kind of animals and all that, I reckon.
It feels like this alien is inspired by all these different biological things.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it's just like a creature that has just evolved to be so efficient.
The perfect organism.
Yeah.
Or however Ash
the perfect like life form.
Yeah.
And it takes all these different sort of concepts that we see in nature, but then all packed into one, which just makes it this like unstoppable killing machine.
Goodness.
Makes it like the ultimate predator, which makes sense
the apex predator.
Yeah. Which makes sense why they would be like, well, but Predator is the apex predator. Let's try and mix them up.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to say about that scene. One, the lighting in that scene is. I think it's my favorite scene in the film purely from a lighting standpoint because
nice.
the dark mix of black and orange yellow gives it a hellish look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Really captures the hell of the situation purely from lighting alone. Like when Ripley steps into that, it was like, I don't know what that room was, but when she steps into that room, almost looks like Freddy's boiler room from Nightmare on Elm Street in a way.
Oh yeah.
Like she's stepping into this level of hell, this hell for
she's
Dallas.
going down into it, right?
Yeah, no, she is. And I also want to say I should have searched this up beforehand, but I'm pretty sure that was a deleted scene in the original cut. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they did cut that scene in the original because of how horrific it was and how graphic it was for 1979 audiences.
I had no memory of that scene from first time that I watched it.
Me neither, but I always knew about that scene because I remember people telling me that, in videos, that it was a deleted scene. So
telling me in videos.
Yep, Watch Mojo personally told me that it was a deleted scene.
Kane, when you watch this film eventually, you won't see this scene. It's too much.
Now I will look. I will look it up afterwards. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself in the next episode.
Yes.
But I am fairly certain that this was a deleted scene, and I think the film is all the more better for being re-included in this 2003 director's cut because. Oh my god, it is on God like one of my. I think it is on par with the chestburster scene, honestly, in terms of how horrific it is,
and also seeing someone that you see as a human and you know in such a compromised position.
Oh my god,
such a vulnerable, disgusting, altered
fate
state.
Worse than death.
Yeah,
as you said earlier. It's horrific.
Oh my god, like one thing that I think that makes these characters empathizable, like despite them not being very warm characters, is that what they are is that they're battlers. Like they're not high class people. Like they're the working class.
Yeah.
And they're there just to do a job.
Yeah.
Like, and that almost is supported by them not being that warm with one another. Is they're there for a paycheck to survive and to keep on going. Like they're there on a capitalistic journey to get it was like
space
20,000 tons.
Like 20 million tons of space coal or whatever.
Yeah, like they're just workers that are there because capitalism needs them to be there. And this is the consequences that they get for doing that. And so it's not like, you know how sometimes you see like the whole aspect of like Friday the 13th is these people are dying because they're sinning or they're doing things that aren't right or are morally questionable, and then these are the consequences of their morally questionable acts. Here they're just trying to survive. And
they're literally just doing a job. They're literally just trying to put food on the table for themselves and their families. They are not doing anything wrong. They are just doing what the capitalistic society that they live in requires them to do. In order to live.
Yeah, and I got a huge sense of that scene, of that theme, in the scene where the android is revealed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So fucking cool, by the way. It's just such a cool
very,
twist.
very cool.
Also, did you know that the actor that plays Ash Ian Holm is Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings?
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
When he was first introduced in the scene, I was like, oh yeah, right, Ian Holm, that's Bilbo Baggins. I just thought that was a cool little tidbit, seeing him be such a devious little bastard in this one. It's pretty sick, honestly.
That devious man.
Oh my goodness.
That is a great reveal as well. That almost feels like a side thing in this film. But I think that when it first started, the scene, I was going to be like, okay, this is probably a criticism that I have of this, because it feels like a little side mission on the actual narrative of this. But I think it contributes so well to the thematic narrative.
Yeah.
As well as just like, it doesn't feel like it distracts or lingers too long from the actual issue at hand of the alien being
definitely.
That's
if anything,
that's
it just kind of spirals the situation and makes it even more worse.
Yeah.
Because the company that they are working for, they wanted this to happen. They meant for this to happen. They literally have this android here that has been living with them for months on end that they have gotten to know. And then just turns out to just be an android that is just literally tasked by the company to bring this dangerous, horrific life form on board, so that way they can experiment it and probably militarize it. And it just really makes the situation even more hopeless than it already is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
their bosses are against them.
Yeah, no, literally.
Their bosses don't give a shit about their lives, which that's where the theme, I think, comes in here of, like, disrespecting and not giving value to the lives of the middle to lower class people. The working class is they're expendable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it says.
Like
it says crew are expendable.
Literally crew are expendable. Like it just shows like a bit of the evils of capitalism, and it's weird. Yeah, this movie's got a bit of an anti-capitalist message in it, because this capitalist society, they do not give a shit about these people living or dying. They just want the job done. You know what I mean?
And in Sigourney Weaver, in Ripley surviving, she explodes this. She self-destructs the ship, which all the product would be destroyed in that process. And it's almost like the only way for her to survive was to sacrifice that commodity.
Yeah.
And it's like her rebelling against the capitalistic system.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm choosing life over capital.
It's really interesting.
Oh, very cool. And it doesn't feel forced in your face.
No, it doesn't.
This is us reading really far into it because we have to talk about things.
No, exactly. And I really appreciate that they don't, like you said, it doesn't feel shoved in our faces and all that. I love movies that just, they have these deep messages that don't feel shoved in, like something that we can read into. Something like, say, Pirates of the Caribbean 5, where they try to force in these feminist themes that we discussed.
Yeah.
It felt very forced. This does not feel forced.
It's not condescending.
Exactly.
Yeah. Themes, it's not, man, for any freaking filmmaker that is aspiring filmmaker, please just do not condescend the audience.
Have respect for your audience,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Respect them and have enough faith in them that if they're trying to look for something to speak to them, then they'll find it.
Yeah, no, precisely.
And if they're not looking for something to speak to them, but you're like, look at this feminist stuff, then they're not gonna respond well.
Yeah.
They're gonna be annoyed and be like, I want to see pirates fight on a bus.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Can I just say about the whole Ash being an Andrew thing? I feel like it was definitely foreshadowed in this movie. One thing I could think of, for example, is like during the chest burst scene. I know we keep coming back to it, but like, did you notice during the chest burst scene, he keeps a very cold gaze during that whole scene?
I did not notice that, I was wondering about it.
I picked up on that. I'm saying that he has a very cold gaze because he wanted this to happen. He knows this is going to happen. Well, he doesn't know this is going to happen because obviously this is an uncharted life form that they have never seen before. But seeing this, it almost felt expected in a way, this chest burst. So you don't know what's gonna happen. There's facehugger sticking onto Kane. Now Kane's freaking out. So he doesn't know what's happening, but obviously he expected something bad to happen because of this alien organism on his face, and also because an android wouldn't feel emotions for human suffering.
Well, they're all expendable.
Exactly.
So why would he care?
Exactly. He doesn't give a shit, and it's just. It lingers on it just long enough for you to be like, why isn't he freaking out? What's going on with this guy? What's wrong with him? I don't know. It's just really fucking cool. Throughout the whole movie, he has literally the same kind of cold gaze, and even during the moments where he's trying to act human, it almost feels awkward in a way. Like every time you see him smile, you only see him smile very rarely in the film, and even then it feels unnatural in a way. You know what I mean?
That's a very, very nice point.
Oh my goodness! Like credit.
I didn't notice this.
Credits to Ian Holm, honestly, like doing a very great job as the android. We're going to see a lot of androids in this series, by the way, and I am very excited to rank all these androids. no, literally, there are so many androids in this whole series, bro, and I'm very excited to like just critique them all.
Typically, something that we always say at the start of our first entry into a marathon is like what's our experience with this franchise, and we didn't say it at the start, so we'll say it briefly here.
All right.
I have only seen Alien and Aliens, none of the others.
Really?
Yep.
I have seen Aliens. I have seen Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. I've seen the AVP movies. And I have played Alien Isolation. I never finished it, but it was a fucking great game. I do not remember anything about any of the movies, though.
Okay, I've seen and played all of Alien Isolation, got the platinum on it, freaking adored that. I'll give my full game review later.
Courtesy to me, by the way. Thank me. I gave him my copy.
Oh,
of
yeah,
Alien
you
Isolation.
did.
Yes,
you did.
I did.
It's still there on my shelf right now.
Mm-hmm. I think one day I might actually take it back. Not fully, but borrow it so I can actually properly finish it. I don't know, watching the movie just makes me want to play Alien Isolation again.
Yeah, completely, man.
Oh my
I felt the
goodness.
same way, because especially too, the Alien Isolation is like, it feels most directly correlated to the original.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, you're mostly powerless in this film.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, in this game.
Yeah,
which is
just like the characters are mostly powerless in this movie.
Yeah. And I just think that this film is expertly paced. The pacing is great. I was a little bit tired at the beginning because I think I was just tired from the day.
Yeah.
But it once it started picking up, I was completely engaged, and it gave me like a caffeine boost without actually having caffeine.
It never felt boring. Like, it is a slow paced movie. It is a very slow, very it's a very. I like to say it's got a lot of visual storytelling in this movie, but it never feels like it's just dragging, or it's just like, just look at these cool shots, look at this cool stuff and all that. Like, it's not just like it doesn't feel meandering. You know what I mean?
It really, really uses engagement through intrigue for the first half of this film, which I was not bored for.
No, me neither.
Like, it was, even though that we know what's going to happen,
exactly,
it still is so freaking interesting.
Yeah, it's engaging as fuck.
Yeah, and really pulls on your intrigue.
And it's like, so I like, in a way, it's like, no wonder young me didn't really care for this movie, because, like, it's a very slow-paced horror film that, like, relies a lot on, like, visual engagement, and just, like, your own kind of interpretations on, like, these concepts, these concepts and these creatures and these worlds that I haven't really given a lot of explanation in this movie, at least. Like the giant the giant ship that they see, the Juggernaut. We don't know what the hell it is. We don't know where the fuck it came from. We don't even know if it's a ship or not. If it's like a giant structure or something.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's just like, just imagine like being an audience member in 1979 watching this and just not having any of like the lore come out later. Just seeing this, just like, what is this?
Yeah,
and just like it would just leave you pondering.
Oh man, I could not even begin to imagine how impressed I would have been as well. Because I'm impressed now watching.
Oh
it.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
and
so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, there's I also, like, I think that when I was 12 years old watching this for the first time, I would have almost the entire time been like, when's the alien going to show up? When's the alien going to show up?
No,
Well,
definitely, same here.
For the first half of the movie, the alien doesn't even exist yet.
No.
Like, you see the life... the lifespan of this alien.
No, literally, yeah.
The entire lifespan, which also is terrifying too, that a baby can grow into that massive freaking... force of nature so quickly.
You know what's also great is that, like, even when the Xeno is like at full growth, you don't see it that much. There's only, I could maybe like count like less than 10 full scenes that you see it full body xenomorph in it, which is so fucking cool to me. And and pretty much all the kills are mostly off screen. They show like brief flashes of like violence, but a lot of it's off screen. One of my favorite deaths is when what's the other girl's name again? I said her name. Lambert. Okay. When Lambert dies, it shows like the phallic imagery of the tail like going up between her legs, and then it cuts to just Ripley running through these horrific hallways, and you can hear her just blood-curdling screams. And I think the film works a lot better at not showing any of the blood and gore and any of the brutality, because it's left up to the audience to be like, what the fuck is this thing capable of in terms of violence?
Yes,
like, obviously
totally.
there'd be budgetary limitations and all that probably wouldn't show a lot of the violence, but I think also Ridley Scott knew what he was doing. You know, he wanted the audience to kind of think about, like, what the hell is this thing capable of? Like, how does this thing kill, you know?
The like, edginess, I mean a literal sense of edginess of the alien's design is, like, it's incompatible with this human softness.
Yeah.
And it just feels so hard, and that makes you just imagine the worst, most disturbing things that you possibly could, and how it would kill you or eat you or whatever it does. So I completely agree. The less that you see of it, and the more just like implication of its violence is awful.
Oh my god, yeah.
Awful.
It's, oh my goodness. It also just lets you, like, just admire, just, like, when you actually do see the alien. I think one of my favorite shots of the Xenomorph is, you missed this shot, actually.
Oh, I was taking down notes.
When groundskeeper Willie was, looking for the cats, there's, like, this brilliant shot when he's in, like, this weird rain room. It's, like, this room
Where's
just
the water coming from?
Water, and with chains. Almost looks like a fucking room from Hellraiser or some shit with all these chains hanging.
Yeah, I can't figure out this room.
And there's a shot where the first time the first shot that you see of the Xenomorph is just it hanging around, and it's for a brief second, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. What's going on? And then it cuts away before you can even really like question what the fuck it is.
Before you can cough.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like before you can question what it is, and like I'm very upset that you missed that shot, Rhys, because like, bro.
I know.
That's why I'm so happy that we're rewatching these movies, especially like this one, is that like so much stuff that young us would never have noticed, we get to see now in a more, and especially because, like, you know, we have better knowledge of filmmaking and more appreciation for films that we maybe necessarily wouldn't have appreciated as youngins, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my goodness.
One bit that I also like, taking now to the climax of when the self-destruction occurs, and also just hilarious that what other circumstance would you use self-destruction of the ship, especially to when you think about it would have been the company that makes the ship, correct? Or at least it would have been the company that facilitates the
manufacturing of the ship.
Yeah, or like they would,
Probably.
it's made for them to be doing this very specific task, right? Then why would they leave it an option to self-destruct the ship? Why not leave it there? Like, if they have to escape, then escape, but then leave it there. Like it's a very handy feature for Ripley to have to kill this alien. But yeah, what a bizarre.
Look, I think one justification could be is that, like, the company has probably done shady shit in the past, and I think that's like a failsafe for them. It's like they've probably done shady shit in the past, and maybe, like, I don't know what other kind of stuff they maybe would have done. I don't know what the company's lore is yet. Maybe it could be explained in later movies. But, like, I think that this whole reason for a self-destruct button existing is maybe as, like, a failsafe to, like, get rid of any loose ends, or, like, unwanted crew members, or any kind of whistleblowers or anything. And because there's an android there, the android would be the one to initiate it, and then, you know, they don't care if they live or die.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's a good justification, at least in my mind, for why it would exist. But then also, self-destruct, it's one of my I love that cliche so fucking much.
It's a good cliche. Self-destruct mode initiated.
I love it. Look, it never fails to, like,
there's a setting here where the whole thing doesn't work.
It never fails to ramp up a climax, I think.
True,
even if it's completely pointless, it can still ramp up a climax.
I ramped up this climax
because
because then she has the threat of, like, the alien and also the destruction of the ship and having to get out as quick as she can.
And also saving the cats.
Saving the cat.
Let's not forget about good old Jonesy, mate.
That was the thing that probably I most remembered as a kid thinking when watching this. Is like, oh my gosh, she really cares about that cat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for some reason it pissed me off as a kid. I'm like, why the fuck do they care about this stupid cat?
Leave! Just leave!
Leave the fucking cat!
Yeah,
like,
that is my exact thoughts when I was a kid watching this.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'm like, okay, I get you.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
I get it. You've been isolated and hated everyone. Well, well, like haven't really liked anyone else that you've been with for these few months.
And, yeah.
Okay, the cat is a big deal.
The cat is a good sense. It provides a good sense of levity and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, also like cats, they're cool.
It's a cute cat. It's
It is a very cute cat. Yeah. I don't think would I save my cat? Yeah, I probably would, but I feel like she would intentionally try to get me killed. My cat is a bit of a bitch. Shout out Layla, love you, bro.
I adore the climax, well, the false ending of her being safe, and the false sense of security that you're offered as she gets into the escape pod.
Yeah.
I love this so much because, there's very, very small underwear, but
made a lot of boys in the 70s very happy. And girls, you know, who doesn't love a Sigourney Weaver? You know,
they're like ridiculously small underwear for Sigourney Weaver.
Space underwear, mate.
Yeah, they don't have that much space on board, so you know, they can't be there stocking big underwear.
Yeah, true, very true.
But yeah, so there's this false sense of security, and then the alien's there, trapped in with her.
Yeah.
Blending in so well with this escape pod.
Yes. And it just, there's that shot of her, like, leaning down, like, maintaining something, or, like, shutting down parts of the ship, or, like, activating cry, I don't know, whatever it is. But, like, there's just, like, a full 30-second shot of her just doing shit, and, like, you can clearly see the alien's just there, just chilling. But it's blended in so well that you're almost questioning, it's like, is that the alien? What the fuck's going on?
Did you think that? Well, I was like, that looks like the alien's head a lot. And then I'm like, nah.
Well, because, like, I knew that scene was coming up. Like, I already knew the alien was there. But, like, even then, it's so well blended in and so, like, the scene is so well built up that it works, you know what I mean? Even for a person that knew what was going to happen, you know what I mean?
The filmic codes make you believe that you're you're now secure.
Yeah, you're in a safe environment.
And what I love about this is like the twist that it's like, oh no, now she's there trapped in this space with the alien, is that in the giant ship, it like. So the film here appeals then to two different like predatorial fears, is like in the giant ship, being trapped in a big space where you don't know where the alien is. It can be around any corner, or it could be on the complete opposite side of the ship. Like that fear of the big openness and the unknown, where then here it's the complete opposite, but then with a similar effect where you're trapped in a small space and you know exactly where the alien is, but the alien doesn't know where you are.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you now to dodge and like somehow escape this alien in a small space where you know where it is.
She's literally backed up into a corner and nowhere to run.
Yeah.
And she's got to fight back, even though this thing is fucking terrifying. Because, like, you know, everyone knows Ellen Ripley's, like, you know, big action hero, one of the big main female action heroes. But, like, in this one, she's not. She's just a person that is scared and trying to survive. Which, you know, very identifiable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. But also has her head screwed on so well.
She's not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. And also there's almost like, there's a bit of feminist undertones to this film in the way that there's, like, her competence is doubted by the other crew members.
No, literally. Like, they have the whole argument scene when they're trying to bring Kane in and all that, and Dallas and all that, they're giving her shit for, like, her following protocol.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is hints of sexism in there, the way, like, Dallas kind of reacts to her. Like, Lambert is like, you know, she's out there, you know, fucking, and, you know, like, adheres to Dallas's word. Because, you know, like, I'm a woman, so I need to follow the man's word, because the man is the captain. The man knows what he's doing. But Ripley is like, no, I'm sticking to protocol. Like I don't care. Like
she very logically is like, when this person and this person is out, I'm the next in command.
No, exactly.
And they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So there's and again, subtle. It isn't forcing your face, but there's that sort of feminist undertones there, and she's just so smart, and she's the most, probably, like, if you want to go like pure logic, you would probably save yourself before the cat. But, you know, that's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
But
also,
she's just a logical, smart woman.
Yeah, exactly.
And gets out of the situations that she's put in.
She also doesn't feel like a Mary Sue type character. Doesn't feel overpowered. Doesn't feel like, you know, they're trying to, I don't know, like pander to, like, the strong female heroine type person. She, you know, is smart, capable, but she's afraid as well. You know?
Yeah.
Very human qualities. She feels like a human character. That's why, like, I'm not surprised why she, like, blew up and became, like, such a huge, like, a big staple character in the Alien series, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And, like, also why, like, Sigourney Weaver, like, really blew up as an actress in, like, the late 70s, early 80s, because, like, she's fucking great in this. On God.
So good. And also, gotta say, you know, token, a bit of bro here, she's pretty hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
no.
say.
Oh, yeah, no. She's very attractive. In
Yeah,
this.
I think she's pretty hot.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Leaving it on that note. Are you ready to say your final thoughts on this film?
Yeah. Sure.
Man, I think this is maybe the best film that we've watched for Marathon Me so far. I think it is phenomenal. The only one that I could compare it to quality-wise would be like, some of the Wes Anderson films, very, very good.
Yeah.
And probably my favorite Wes Anderson film being Darjeeling. I do love that, but I think this is more impressive.
Yeah.
And also comparing it to like the first Scream film, which I think again is like a 10 out of 10. Like Scream, I think 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
This I think is better and is the best film that we have watched so far for Marathon Me.
I think I sort of do agree with that sentiment. I think for me, I think this is definitely the best film in terms of like the best made film that we've talked about on Marathon Me. Maybe not my personal favorite in terms of an enjoyment watch. Like, I don't know if I'd rewatch this for a while, but that's not like to deter like the quality of this film. I think this is like one of the best made films that we've talked about. Just maybe not one like. It's a film that, like, I need to be in a certain mood for, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, to really fully appreciate, like, there's so much to appreciate about this film, but, like, I think if we were talking about favourite films that we've, personal enjoyment, like, definitely for me it'd be, like, Fantastic Mr. Fox or something like Rushmore or something, something like that, but, like, this is, like, just expertly crafted, this movie.
Another interesting element of this is that this is also the oldest film that we've watched for Marathon Me.
True.
By 10 years minimum. Because I think probably the second oldest that we would have seen would have been Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a good 15 years younger.
Yeah.
And this is definitely favorite movie that we've done so far.
Definitely one of my favorite.
Best film that we've done.
Definitely
so far
one of my favorite conversations about a film that we've had in a while.
Man,
honestly.
this is going on long. We are like, I think that I've tried to like hold myself back a little bit, and we're about an hour and 15 minutes through. So thank you, people, for listening to an hour and 15 minutes of us talking about this movie. And we probably could go longer. But
definitely.
I think that we should end it off here. Do you think that?
I don't really have many. I feel like I've said all I needed to say, honestly.
Amazing. But we'll still have a lot more to talk about because there's 6 Alien films.
Oh yes, we got a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be a lot more to say. And I am after watching this and after discussing this movie, I am very excited to get into the rest of the series.
I cannot wait. Well, let's end this and go get more drinks and watch Aliens.
Yes, sir. Let's
thank you, everyone. Enjoy. Have a lovely night.
Have a lovely night, guys.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.